Good morning, everybody. My name is Doug Pearson, and I am the Vice President and Dean of Students at Mercer University. And on behalf of the Division of Student Affairs, I want to welcome you all this morning. This is a program on health and safety at Mercer University. And safety is something we take very seriously at this institution. For a lot of us on this panel, it's not just an abstract concept. Many of the people you're going to hear from today either have had, will have, or in my situation, currently have a son or a daughter that's attending Mercer University. So safety is something we take very, very seriously. So today's session, we're going to discuss some of the tough questions that you all have as parents that are when you drop your son or daughter off at an institution. We're going to talk about how safe is the campus. We're going to talk about what type of law enforcement we have at the university and what does that law enforcement do. We're going to talk about what happens if your son and daughter wakes up in the middle of the night and they're not feeling good. We're going to talk about what happens if they feel overwhelmed or stressed or depressed at college, what kind of counseling services we provide. We're going to talk about how safe the residence halls are, and we're even going to talk about the tough topic of sexual assault on college campuses. And of course, we're going to talk about COVID-19 situation and what the institution is doing to address it. So to answer these questions today, we have a panel of experts from around the campus, and the format will be that I will ask them the questions that you always ask me, and we will hear directly from them what their response is. So at this time, I'm going to ask the panel to go around and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Gary Collins. I'm called the Chief of Police at Mercer, among other names that I will not mention. I have been employed at Mercer as chief for almost 37 years.
Hi, I'm Kay Miller, and I'm a nurse at Student Health, and I've been with Mercer for 9 years.
Hi, I am Dr. Emily Piasek, and I'm the Director of Counseling and Psychological Services. We go by CAPS, and I have been Director at Mercer for 12 years now.
Hello, my name is Dr. Christian Wells, and I'm one of the Associate Directors in Housing and Residence Life here at Mercer University.
Hi, I'm Sharon Stellato, the Title IX Coordinator here at Mercer University. I've been here about 2 years. I came from West Virginia University, and we're going to talk about a topic that's pretty important right now.
Thank you, panel. So we're going to begin with the police. Gary, if you could, a lot of parents want to know, is this a safe campus?
Yes, we have a safe campus, but in no way does that imply that nothing ever happens at Mercer. We do have incidents to occur, crime to occur. Most of the crime that occurs on the Mercer campus happens to be property crime, where people have laid stuff out and someone comes along and picks it up, or they may break into a car. Very few crimes against persons where someone is harmed or something. Most of the crimes, property crime, you can replace property, you cannot replace lives.
Gary, thank you. Can you describe a little bit about the Mercer Police operation and what services you provide?
We are a very service-oriented department. We provide jump starts for students and our guests. People lock the keys in the car almost all the time, daily. We try to get the keys back for them. We don't fix flat tires. We'll pump them up and stand by until they can get someone to repair it. But we are very service oriented. We provide escorts for students coming in at night, maybe parking in a parking lot and want an escort to the residence hall. We encourage that. Call us. We'd rather be proactive than reactive. We are here. We are their police department. We are here for them.
And finally, Gary, if you wouldn't mind, can you talk a little bit about student safety and what students can do to increase their safety on campus?
Students can really greatly increase their campus by relying upon us. If they see anything or anyone strange or suspicious, please call us. Let us confront that individual, find out why they're here, what it is that they think suspicious. Let us find out. We get paid the big bucks for that. You know, we have a rave alert system where if something very dangerous happens on Mercer campus, we send it out. Parents can also choose to be on that rave alert system, and they would get the same messages. Go to our IT department's website and sign up for it. Students can put a lot of extra eyes and ears on this campus and help make it safer for themselves and everyone else on campus. And we encourage them to do that. Utilize us, get to know us as more than just a uniform. We're their allies, their friends. Please utilize us.
Thank you, Gary. Now we're going to move on to the health center. Kay, what happens if a student at Mercer University wakes up at night and or during the next day or the next morning and they're not feeling well? What services are provided at the university for that student?
So if they need to contact Student Health, they would call us at 478-301-2696. We'd be glad to schedule them an appointment to see our nurse practitioner. We also have 2 MDs that are here part-time that can assist with seeing patients. We have myself, 2 CMAs, and a receptionist. So we see students for acute illnesses and injuries. We also do women's health. We also do allergy injections after we meet certain protocols. So they would just give us a call. We get them set up for an appointment and get them in and get them seen.
Kay, can you tell the parents, is there a charge for the services that you all provide?
So there is a charge, but they don't pay a charge up front when they come. We don't charge a copay. We bill their insurance. So it's very important that the students have their insurance cards with them, or they have a copy of it or some way to get that so that when they come in, we can keep the process moving along. And the only thing they would pay for up front would be if we do any vaccines. Those they pay for out of pocket. We give them a receipt, they file their insurance. But for the visits to see our providers, we don't bill them up front.
Finally, Kay, where's the health center located?
So we are located at 1327 Stadium Drive. We're in the field house in front of the football field. So it should be pretty easy for us to find, for you to find us. If you can't, just give us a call. We'll help you figure out how to get here. Just want to reiterate, we don't bill students up front. We bill your insurance. Important to have that card with you. Every student is required to have insurance. So if you don't have your own private insurance, then you'll be billed for the Mercer insurance regardless. But if you have your private insurance, you need to make sure that you go online, waive the school insurance, or you will be charged for it. We see you here. We don't have pharmacies on campus, but there are pharmacies locally, and there are several pharmacies that will deliver. You just need to set up an account with them beforehand. Again, just call. We'll be glad to see you, make an appointment. Acute illnesses and injuries. If there's anything we can't handle here, we get you set up with a specialist or provider outside and get that taken care of for you. If you have an emergency situation, you'll definitely want to call MERPO. They can get an ambulance to you and get that taken care of for you.
I'm going to transition now to counseling. Emily, maybe you can answer this question for the parents. College is supposed to be the best time in a student's life. Why would a college student need counseling?
Well, you know, college can be the best time of somebody's life, but as we know that even during the best of our times, life can get hard. And our philosophy at the Counseling Center is that life can get hard, and sometimes you need somebody to talk to that's not a parent, that's not a family member, that's not a friend, and the Counseling Center is a great place to do that.
Thank you, Emily. Tell us a little bit about counseling services at Mercer University, where you're located, what you provide.
So we provide free, confidential, individual, and relational therapy for all enrolled Mercer students. Relational therapy meaning whether that's a partner, a friend, a roommate, a family. We are free, which means that there's no additional fee for our services, and we don't file insurance, so you don't have to worry about that. The CAP staff is made up of myself, and I'm the director. Corey Wetzel is our assistant director. Rachel Rogers is our staff counselor, and Ashley Haney is our administrative assistant. Typically, we have 1 or 2 either a marriage and family therapy master's student or a PsyD student that will be in training with us and under our supervision. We see students with all sorts of presenting concerns, everything from maybe adjusting to college, anxiety, depression, family issues, eating disorders, suicidal thoughts, you name it. We're seeing it at the Counseling Center. We're able to work with students regarding these issues. We typically see students every other week unless the therapist determines that weekly appointments are needed based on whether there's a crisis or an emergency emergency issue going on. We schedule students by calling. All they need to do is call the counseling center to schedule an appointment, and Ashley will help them get the soonest appointment that is available. Our goal at the Counseling Center is to help you be as successful as you can be at Mercer, and so we really want students to be able to come and know that this is a safe place that they can work on those presenting issues. We are located behind the Mary Aaron Porter Residence Hall. We are attached to the back of that building, and our hours are 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday. There's always a therapist on call for the university if there was an emergency.
And finally, would a parent be notified if their son or daughter is getting counseling?
So first I want to talk about confidentiality and then talk about when we would break confidentiality. Confidentiality means that whatever somebody says in the counseling center stays in the counseling center, with the exception that if a student tells us or we determine that they are in danger of attempting suicide or homicide, or they tell us about active abuse to a vulnerable person like a child, an elderly person, we have to make sure they are safe or the other person is safe. Confidentiality is of utmost importance in the counseling center so students can feel that this is a safe place, that they can talk about whatever they need to talk about. Now, I know at times that can be really hard for parents because you're concerned, and rightfully so, about your student, and you're going to want to know information about them. In those cases, if your student signs a release form that gives us permission to be able to talk to them, that is one way to do it. Other times, parents will call and just consult with us. They'll talk about a situation and we'll talk about hypotheticals. So if a student comes in and they're talking about these kind of issues like depression, they can't get out of bed, then we'll talk the parent through how we will help students, and as well as referrals to the Macon Mercer community to be able to help with other avenues to assist your student. Confidentiality, as I said, is of utmost importance, but also recognize that if we do have a student that is that we determine is suicidal or homicidal, the CAP staff will do an assessment, and at that point, if we determine that the student needs to go to the hospital for further evaluation, we will then be working with Mercer Police to help get the student to the hospital, as well as with the Dean of Students office, who will follow their protocol to notify family and to work with the student so that they can return to campus once they're healthier and feeling better.
Thank you, Emily. Christian, let's talk a little bit about safety in the residence halls. What do you all do to ensure safety for our students that are living on campus?
Well, first off, we have 52 resident assistants who go through an intensive 2-week training on policy enforcement, how to be a resource, how to put on a program, as well as how to look for different concerns and issues within the residence halls and the buildings, and they also check for safety. And these students are undergraduate students who are just like your students coming in, who are really dedicated to helping your student and kind of being that peer as they enter campus, as well as they go throughout their college campus as well. And so we do have those individuals. With that being said, they also serve on duty each night, and so we do have duty signs posted where after our office is closed, after 5 p.m. or on weekends, students can contact the RA on duty, and the RA on duty can assist them with lockouts. They can assist them if they have some type of crisis or they're not feeling well. They can always call the RA on duty, and the RA on duty will be able to know who they need to contact and what they need to do next. The RAs also do rounds each night in every single building, so they're just checking for safety, making sure lights are working, making sure doors are closed as well. And so with that being said, we always try to have extra eyes throughout the night and throughout the weekend just to make sure students are being safe. Students also receive a Mercer Bear Card, and with that Bear Card, they're able to access exterior buildings with their Bear Card of their assigned building that they're assigned to. And then they also receive an individual key that will get them only into their room, them and their roommate, so no one else will have access to that besides the RA on duty, who has access to a master key, or Mercer Police, or our staff that's professional. And so we really want to make sure that students keep their keys on them, that so if they do lose a key, they need to contact us immediately, so that way we can make sure that we keep that safety as well. And then we also We also have 4 resident directors who are graduate students enrolled in the Master's of Higher Ed program, and they're really there to serve as a resource to help support the resident assistants as well as the students. And so their offices are actually within each of the buildings, and they're spread out because they oversee they oversee several areas. However, they are there to help your students serve on call as well, so if the RAs need assistance, then they can contact them. And then we have 3 area coordinators who are professional staff members who already have obtained their master's degree, and they serve on call as well, along with another assistant director, another associate director, and myself. We all serve on duty. So there's plenty of people that can help your student after hours or throughout the weekend if you're concerned. So we really want to make sure we provide that support for you all.
Thank you, Christian. Also, what are the expectations regarding alcohol possession and consumption in our traditional residence halls on campus?
Well, in our residence halls, apartments and Greek houses, actually, we are a dry campus, meaning that we do not allow any alcohol within our residence halls, Greek houses, or apartments. So it doesn't matter if you're 21 or up, but alcohol is not allowed within the residence hall. The only time that it is going to be allowed is going to be during those tailgate periods that are specified on the website. So, so if your daughter or son turns 21 and we find alcohol, then we will document it, and then we will also have to send it to student conduct. So it's really important to make sure that they understand that alcohol and drugs are not allowed on campus.
Thank you, Christian. We're going to transition now into the tough topic of sexual assault. If you've been following the media or the reports across the country, you'll know that sexual assault is a very serious and tough topic that institutions wrestle with, and they should. It is a very, very serious violation of our student code of conduct. So we have a Title IX coordinator, and Sharon, maybe we can begin with saying what is Title IX and what falls under Title IX?
Sure. So Title IX is a federal law that makes it illegal to discriminate against students or employees on the basis of sex. And that includes any federally funded program or activity here at the university. So when we talk about that, what we're really looking at is sexual harassment and everything that falls under that. That includes sexual assault. Obviously, non-consensual sexual assault could be contact or it could be intercourse. We look at stalking, and we look at something called intimate partner violence, which most people know as kind of dating or domestic violence. Those are the big ones that really fall under Title IX right now.
Thank you. Sharon, if a student is involved in a Title IX situation, what resources does the university provide to that student?
So if a student is involved on either side of a complaint that comes in, we offer multiple resources. We do no contact directives. We can help change class schedules. We can help change housing assignments, making it so that the people don't have to see each other here on campus when it's uncomfortable. We can also help with counseling, referring students to counseling, and then helping them report criminally if they'd like that.
And finally, Sharon, how does a student file a Title IX violation with Mercer University?
They can contact me directly, and we'll schedule a meeting to get them to come in and sit down and talk about things, and they can reach me by phone or by email.
Thank you, Sharon. I hope this was helpful and provides you all as parents a better understanding of some of the things that Mercer University does to safeguard our students. Hopefully gives you a good understanding of some of the services, the counseling, the health center services that we provide to students, and some of how we deal with conduct issues, which is kind of what I want to segue into next, which is to talk about the Student Code of Conduct. The Student Code of Conduct is a set of rules and regulations that guide students' behavior at Mercer University. It's important that you go over this document with your sons and daughters. There are some things they can do that can lead to a suspension at Mercer University. Some of those things include, but are not limited to the following. Weapons. If they bring a gun to campus, that is a very serious violation of our Student Code of Conduct. I know we have a lot of hunters out there and people that may have weapons for self-protection. You can't keep those. You can't put them in your closet. You can't keep them in your car. If you bring it to campus, your best bet is to turn it into Mercer Police. Otherwise, it's a violation of our Student Code of Conduct. Illegal drug use in dealing. If a student brings illegal drugs or is caught dealing on our campus, there's a good chance that they will be sent home. We don't tolerate illegal drug use on the campus. Physical and sexual assault. Very serious violations of our Student Code of Conduct and things that could lead to a student being separated from the institution. And finally, fire safety. And we do not tolerate students who engage in behavior that threatens our other students in our campus. So in closing, I want to suggest two things. One, I suggest you talk to your sons and daughters about everything we talked about today. Talk to them about your expectations for them as young adults. Believe it or not, they listen to you. You may not think it, but they do. So talk to them. What are your expectations for being kept in the loop on things? What are your expectations for being called and communicated with? Talk about safety on campus. Tell them about your experiences. Tell them, give them advice on how they can engage in safe behavior. And talk about taking care of themselves physically and mentally. Let them know that's a critical part of academic success at Mercer University, and that's why we have a health center, and that's why we have a counseling center. So, and finally, this is not a one and done. We encourage you. We know a lot of you will have questions that we didn't get to today, and at the end you will have a whole list of people you can contact. We encourage you to reach out until all your questions are answered. So I hope that is helpful. Again, my name is Doug Pearson. I'm the Vice President, Dean of Students at Mercer University, and go Bears.